Welcome to Married to Movies. Industry insiders Jon Russell and Tracy Kring live and work happily in cinematrimony. They're sharing behind-the-scenes adventures of writing, producing, and appreciating films. Good morning, babe.
Good morning, babe. How you doing?
Awesome.
So I think this is what we're calling kind of our pre-Oscar show.
Ooh.
Because we are authorities on all things movies, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we have not seen half of the Best Picture nominations.
Having opinions on movies you haven't seen is like our jam. Oh, okay. Like what? Poor Things?
Yorgos Lanthimos, Poor Things. I already feel like I'm not going to enjoy this movie. That doesn't mean I'm not going to enjoy it, but it is a kind of movie that's kind of over the top, and it's all sort of about the spectacle and the craziness and the Terry Gilliam of it.
It looks like a Terry Gilliam film, and really Terry is the only one who can do that, in my opinion.
And then our friend Starina pointed out, she's like the Bride of Frankenstein, basically, but that they are putting the mind of a toddler in her. And then it does say that the mind develops, but Starina could not get past the fact that all of that dirty, dirty sex, apparently, that happens in the movie is happening with a toddler. Now, I don't want to think about it that way, but I get her point.
Leave it to a man to want to put the brain of a toddler in a woman.
That's not very nice to say about Yorgos Lanthimos.
Well, he did it. That's his problem. I mean, like, oh, yeah, a woman, an intelligent woman. God forbid you do that. Maybe you should be smart enough to, like, fucking slash your throat for making her a Frankenstein.
Well.
And it's also that idea of when you get them young and train them to be what you want them to be.
Uh-huh.
And thank you, Starina, for pointing that out, because I think it's a very valid point.
We saw Past Lives. The two leads, I mean, that's the whole movie, basically.
Yeah.
You know, except for when she...
By
the way, folks, there's going to be
New York City.
Spoilers galore here. This movie was like in the mood for New York.
In the mood for love, yeah.
It's like in the mood for love, but with New York. So it's in the mood for New York.
That movie owes a debt of gratitude to In the Mood for Love.
It is a romance without any romance to it. I think you used a great word. You said it's about longing.
It's just about longing. The longing for a life you didn't lead, the possibility of something, having a really deep connection with someone and not being able to be with them. They could have been together.
I would not be mad at all if I believe she is nominated for an Oscar, and I think she was absolutely incredible. We know her from the morning show.
Yeah, she's kind of like the new badass who they want to take over the morning show.
Right.
And unfortunately, she's on a downturn of the morning show.
American Fiction is a movie we have not seen. I do think I would really enjoy it.
What's that about?
That's the one with Jeremy Wright, and he is an author, and his books really aren't selling very well. He's a black author, so... he decides, I'm going to write a real hood gangster book and basically change my image just as almost a joke. And then he has to basically put on all of this like imagery, you know, that he's a thug because his book is so popular.
I love Jeffrey Wright.
Oh, my God. I remember when I saw him in Basquiat.
I thought
was like,
he was
who
Basquiat.
the hell is this?
No, like, I thought it was really him.
I mean, it was unreal. Well, Basquiat
I don't know why.
He had been dead, baby, for a really long time.
I never heard of him at that point. I feel like I was young. And I thought that it was really Basquiat.
Right.
That's how believable that role was to me. Wasn't he also in Rustin?
No.
Jeffrey Wright wasn't in Rustin?
No. Jeffrey Wright was not in Rustin. No.
Are you sure about that?
Yes,
because it says it
wait. Oh, yes, he's in Rustin. He's not Rustin. I see what you were saying. Okay.
He's in Rustin.
He's in Rustin. Yes.
God,
he's
you thought I was a racist right there.
I almost said that, but I didn't.
I am from the South. I am from Tennessee. I don't blame you for...
Yeah, no, okay. Yes, he was in Rustin. Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Very mediocre movie.
What? What?
I thought Rustin was a very mediocre movie, but Rustin was so incredible in it.
No, the guy, what's his name? Coleman. He was so good. That actor was so good. Every other actor kind of sucked.
They didn't suck. It was the script.
Well, yeah.
Everything
they
was
only
there
wrote one good role.
Right. Everything was there to serve him.
What happened to Martin Luther King?
They made Martin Luther King kind of look like a loser.
He had no charisma. None.
Yeah, which is impossible because it's about Rustin.
He gets
we have
all
to give
of it.
all the charisma to Rustin so that Martin Luther King, needs him, and it's just like, okay. I mean, Rustin could have, be amazing, but so can Martin Luther King, and so can everybody else. I mean, even Chris Rock was in it, and Chris Rock did a really good job.
He did, but the
character wasn't. The characters were
character.
just like, this is what I am. This is all I am.
I am the foil.
Yeah.
I am here to put a wrench in things.
Zone of Interest is a movie that I've had to explain to you what it is about 12 times.
Okay, so
every time I say, Zone of Interest, do you want to watch Zone of Interest? And what do you say?
What's that about?
What's that about?
Okay, let me just explain.
It cannot hold.
Let me explain
Okay.
why. I finally know what Zone of Interest is. I committed it to memory.
Right.
When you say Zone of Interest, I'm thinking it's like some kind of action film. Okay.
Right.
But it's not.
Right.
It is about a family who lives next door
to Auschwitz. Yes. Now, here's the thing. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the movie. It is not streaming. It will not be streaming.
Where in the hell do you watch it?
You watch it in the theater.
I don't even see it in the theater.
It's in the theater, babe.
Is it?
Yes.
I would probably never watch a Brian Grazer film in the theater.
In the theater.
Period.
Yes.
He does not make what I consider films that get me to the theater. Like Godzilla -1. That's a theater movie. It's a group experience. So what do I want to experience with a group? Even if there's and even creepier if there's only like 5 people in the theater.
Okay,
because
so
it's not a theater movie.
Would Saltburn have been a theater movie?
Here's where this comes from. The zenith of this for me is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I watched that in a theater.
Okay.
And it was so freaking intense. I had to leave.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
I've seen the whole movie since, of course. And, it is what it is,
Right.
and they did it well.
Right.
I don't ever want to have to watch it again.
Right.
Seeing that in a theater with other people pretty much put the nail in the coffin as far as what I'm willing to go experience as a group with others.
Okay. Barbie, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Barbie, love it. Oppenheimer, hate it. Killers of the Flower Moon,
I've heard that from a friend of mine that he felt like that Leonardo. No. Actually, it was not a friend of mine. It was Howard Stern.
Well, guess what? Howard Stern is not a friend of yours.
I know, he is not. Folks, I do not know Howard Stern. Let me make that perfectly clear. But
he's a friend of yours.
Well, yes, exactly. He's a friend of mine. He said that he felt like Leonardo DiCaprio. No, it was not Howard Stern. It was
God.
Bill Maher.
Good God. Just say it was Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ was talking to me, and he said that he felt that Leonardo DiCaprio was way too old to play that part. Since he's a doughboy coming back from World War I, that he was too old for that part.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Too old to be that dumb.
See, okay, that addresses my issue. That does.
Okay.
Because that is a big issue for me.
Then you could thank
either I sat there the
Jesus
whole time.
Christ, Bill Maher, or Howard Stern, or
I sat
my
there
friend,
the whole
whichever
time.
the one it was.
I looked at you many times and said, I don't know if people can actually be this dumb.
See, I had a Biden moment there.
Nyad.
Okay, Nyad is a movie that you were trying to get me to watch.
I watched it when it first hit Netflix.
Right. Yes.
I like those kind of movies. Like I'm a this, I'm gonna try to do a that.
I'm a this, I'm gonna try to do that.
Yeah, I like those movies.
Okay.
It's a great formula.
Okay, so what would be another movie in that formula?
I'm a climber. I'm gonna try to climb Everest.
Okay.
Right?
I see. Right.
Like, I'm
right.
a runner. I'm going to try to win the Olympics.
Right.
I'm a
cannibal. I'm going to try to eat a bus full of teenagers.
whatever.
Yes.
I'm a movies.
I'm a
okay?
movies.
It's a whole genre.
It's who I am inside.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm an astronaut. I'm going to go to space.
I'm going to go to space.
You know, I watched it like 3 times. I suggested it to other people.
Right.
They loved it.
Right. It was surprisingly good.
You wouldn't watch it because of Annette Bening.
Yes.
And I told you,
I'm
I
quite
explained
annoyed by
this,
Annette Bening.
and I'll explain
Yes.
it to everyone here. Annette Bening, okay? Now, you may have thought, oh, she ruined some really great movies.
She's ruined several really great
okay,
movies.
like
Yeah.
Grifters.
Yeah, she's the worst thing in the Grifters.
Look.
She's the worst thing
American
in
Beauty.
She's worst thing in American Beauty to me.
Okay,
Yes.
look. She's just got an Annette Bening vibe,
Yes.
okay?
That's Annette Bening.
No, and when you needed a character like that, you'd
Right.
cast Annette Bening,
Right.
okay? Because that was her shtick. Now, I'll say, as she has aged,
Right.
something happened.
Something happened.
It's like Brad Pitt's early career compared to now.
We don't want to talk about that. All the kudos should go to Jodie Foster. We've always known Jodie Foster is a tremendous actress. Okay, she goes all the way back to Taxi Driver.
We watched The Accused recently.
She was
so good.
She was really great in that. Something has happened to Jodie Foster where she has leveled up. Okay, in True Detective.
True Detective, yeah.
So
It's interesting
real.
though when you
real.
juxtapose True Detective character of Jodie Foster with her
With
in
the
Nyad. She's totally different.
Completely different and completely believable in both roles.
But it shades. It's like she could have started as in True Detective, like the happy Nyad kind of woman.
Right.
Right? And then she turned into True Detective.
One of the things I always love is an actor like a Donald Sutherland or a Michael Caine. And they feel like
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. I used to Michael Caine like this. Okay.
Michael Caine.
Yeah.
In my opinion, older female characters, you know, in the past, let's say in the 90s, 80s, and 70s.
Right.
There were not a ton of older women characters.
Right.
I feel like now there are, and we're seeing women age in their career.
Right. Well, like a Julianne Moore now.
Yeah.
You know,
but
yes.
The thing is, we thought, oh, male actors, of course, they like get better with age. Look at Paul Newman.
Right.
Like some of his best work is
That's
when
true.
he's older, right?
That's true. Nobody's fool. You know,
Yeah,
the
but it
verdict.
was like,
Yes.
you know, a woman got to like 40 or 50 and she just fell off the side of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're able to have these stories told.
Right.
And we're seeing I mean, look at Helen Mirren, for Christ's sake. Look
Right.
at Judi Dench. You know, we're seeing the long curve. Maggie Smith, isn't that her name? They have representation, is what I'm saying. So we're able to track this now.
Right.
I don't think it's a revelation. I think it's probably always happening. We just had no exposure.
Oppenheimer is up for Best Cinematography, and that's ridiculous. There's nothing in Oppenheimer's cinematography that should give it an Oscar.
That was probably my major issue with Oppenheimer. Was it was shot just like a movie of the week.
It has some weird, surreal stuff, like, you know, when it's showing like the universe and, you know.
I feel like they got to the end of it all in color and we're just like, this ain't got no artiness.
No, that's not what happened.
We're not going to go for a best picture with this shit.
That's not what happened.
And then they were like, oh, guess what? Let's turn a bunch of shit black and white.
I watched an interview with Stephen Colbert with Christopher Nolan, and he said,
meant to do that?
Yes, he went back to the fact. No, he went back to the fact that he did that in Memento. I feel like Barbie should win the Best Picture because to take something that was so ridiculous,
but see, they're calling
and
it like
make it so relevant.
What is
and
it they're
real
calling
and
it? Based on.
entertaining.
It's based on. It's
Right.
in like the based on category.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because it was based on.
That is so
Barbie.
ridiculous. Because
And
you're
you could say a
you're
lot of things were
taking
based
something
on.
as like, okay, because I used a character like, okay, let's say Napoleon. Okay, I use Napoleon and then I do a Napoleon sitcom, but because it's Napoleon, it's not based. It's not an original work.
Because it was based on a real person.
Because it's based on a
what
real
about
person.
Rustin? That was based on a real person.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's stupid. I think that...
No, go down the
get me
list.
started on that. But in my opinion, Barbie is the best movie of the year. Greta Gerwig, who I'm not usually a big fan of, I think she
Me either.
absolutely killed it.
Walking out of Barbie, my major complaint was why so much kin? Why do we give a shit? It's called Barbie. And I think that it's reflected in the Oscar nom for Ryan Gosling.
I think it was a good year. I don't think it was a great year.
No,
but I think it was a good year.
I think there was something with the strikes where things weren't coming out that were planned.
I think that a lot of people, though, feel like this has been an amazing year for films. The question is, in 20 years, are we going to look back on these movies?
No. I tell you, the year that was freaking good was the year that Spotlight and all those movies came out.
Yeah.
Oscars
2016. Okay, so that's like 7 or 8 years ago.
Inarritu, The Revenant.
Okay, The Revenant. Okay.
Adam McKay, The Big Short.
Oh, God.
George Miller, Mad Max Fury Road.
That one right there.
Abramson, Room. Room is a really interesting film.
Yeah.
And McCarthy was Spotlight.
Room was one of those movies that kind of put
Spotlight
A24.
and The Big Short.
Yeah, Spotlight and The Big Short.
Now, some people may
and The
not,
Revenant,
some people may not be interested in those films. I am. Bridge of Spies, The Martian was up for Best Picture.
Oh my God, The Martian is a masterpiece.
Room, Revenant, Martian, Mad Max, Brooklyn, Bridge of Spies, Big Short, Spotlight.
Wow.
You can't compete
That's
to 2016.
Crazy.
The amount of amazing filmmaking there. You can't
that's
compete
crazy.
with that.
That is a crazy year.
And that's why I say no, I don't think the Oscars this
I
year
think
are
you win.
as impressive.
I mean, there is no arguing with those movies.
We were very excited last night because Tokyo Vice came back.
Yes, Tokyo Vice came back.
And immediately, I realized I should have watched season 1 again. Immediately.
They just throw you...
It's very involved.
They just throw you right into like...
Tokyo Vice is very involved. There's
they
a
even
lot
had,
of characters.
Look, they even had like a whole breakdown of the season.
You know what I needed? I needed a fucking chart of like who everybody was, how
That's
they were all
true.
connected, what their names were.
The whole time we were watching it, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about the fact his sister is at home and he wants to go.
I forgot. Oh,
and I
yeah,
forgot about
that
this.
is-
And yeah, it was all coming back to me.
I'm losing the thread of our lead guy, the
Oh, okay.
American,
Right, the American
there.
reporter.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm losing his thread. He's become more of a device to tell the story now, whereas before he was more involved in figuring out the story.
Well, yeah, but you have to imagine that he was the doorway into the whole story for like probably the first 3 or 4 episodes of the first season.
Because he was figuring
but
it
now
out.
we're adding characters. Now we're
it's a lot.
It's very complicated.
It's a lot.
It's
And
complicated.
I'm gonna have to go back to season 1 and run into like build momentum into season 2. I can't remember.
I think that's the mark of a great show, though.
No, it is. I disconnected. I fell asleep on episode 2.
Well, it's been a while because that was one of those shows that got really affected by the strike.
Anatomy of a Fall.
We really want to see that.
I want to see that so
Yeah.
bad, and that's like a Tracy movie.
I totally want to see that. That's one that is like, oh, it has done a great job of making me like, that's one I really want to see. And I've heard it's amazing.
It's weird because in my mind, I think of it as a foreign film.
It is a foreign film.
But it's not up for best foreign film. Is that a category anymore?
Yes. Okay, so here's the way that works, okay?
Oh, tell me.
What happens is the country puts forth their film as this is the one that we want to be our best foreign film category.
How did Anatomy of a Fall get Best Picture?
Because...
Is that foreign and domestic?
Well, I mean, that happens. Like Parasite.
Oh,
yeah,
true.
Parasite would be an example of, we've had, Minari was nominated for Best Picture, I think, last year. And these are pictures from, other other countries.
The holdovers.
Oh, shit. We forgot about the holdovers. I thought the holdovers was great.
Yeah, it's charming and all, but I don't know. I love the performance.
Oh, the performances are incredible.
Up for.
Yeah, the actress is, who plays the cafeteria worker.
The cafeteria lady.
Yeah, she was fantastic. Yeah, Paul Giamatti, incredible.
She's amazing.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
Yeah, I thought
What was up with his eyes? Was that an effect, or is that really what's happening with his eyes?
No, that was an effect, babe.
Okay, because I don't know how they did that. That was weird.
No, I thought it was just charming. It felt very old school. It felt very much like an old Hal Ashby film.
They shot it to be specifically like very old school.
I'd love that movie to do well. I really would.
But like in 10 years, are you really going to watch The Holdovers?
You might watch The Holdovers in 10 years. Yeah, well, at Christmas.
You know what movie I really want to see?
At Christmas, it would make a good Christmas movie.
It is kind of a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie. Yeah.
So then Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Maestro.
Oh, fuck Maestro.
Maestro,
I thought was just pretentious.
I wanted something else.
And yeah,
here's the thing. And maybe I went into that with a different expectation. I'm a conductor, I'm a composer, I'm a conductor, compose.
That's right. They
here's the thing.
Ignored so much of what he did.
Because of his boring love life, I had to listen to all the in and outs of his boring love life.
Let's do a movie because he liked boys. I mean, come on. Let's get over ourselves. Who cares?
So reductive.
Who cares?
Who cares who he fucked?
Nobody gives a fuck who you fuck.
Who cares about this wife who married this guy?
So
and
lame.
She's like, oh, he ruined my life.
You don't even know who she was. You get to the end of the film and it's like, I couldn't have done it without you. Why? Why could you have not done it without me?
Wallpaper.
Like, who the hell was she?
She was wallpaper. I don't know what the fuck she brought to the relationship.
Super lame.
And maybe it was my expectation going in.
Right.
I mean, I definitely liked A Star Is Born better than this.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Definitely. I think Killers is going to win.
I think Oppenheimer's going to win.
Really?
Yeah, I think Oppenheimer's going to win.
Wow.
But it could be Poor Things. Poor Thing is like the dark horse.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I really am not sure. Napoleon was only up for like 3, I think, and costume design was 1. Mm-hmm. I don't know why everybody thinks it's a bad movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm curious. Like all the trailers and all the clips I've seen, like Joaquin is just amazing.
Yeah, well, Joaquin's amazing and everything. There's another guy.
Like, how come
there's another guy that just disappears into something?
He?
Like Beau is Afraid. I mean, I think he was.
But where's
wonderful
he? Where's he in? I mean, Paul Giamatti's in it for The Holdovers, and he's not in it for Napoleon.
Well, I don't. Yeah,
I don't know if I get that or not.
Well, we haven't seen. Well, babe, we haven't seen.
We
Napoleon.
haven't seen it,
yeah,
but like, come on,
Napoleon,
he's Joaquin.
I know, he's Joaquin. He should just get it. It's time for another Origian.
This is going to be part 5 of editing.
Nice.
The script, which you can watch on YouTube. Celia frowns and gets the other 2 on a video call. They answer right away.
He thinks people are going to start calling him a child trafficker.
Interior, Cardi's home day. Cardi, trafficking in thin skin.
Celia, we are responsible for educating the public and controlling the narrative. We have to do more.
Exterior, Omar's pool day.
Omar, where the hell are they getting child trafficking? It's ridiculous.
Celia, what are the possible angles?
Cardi, focus on parents and family.
Omar, play up the Iliad and Odyssey of it.
Celia, send packages to the major outlets stressing those points. Interior, Cardi's home day.
Cardi, from the confirmed participants, which ones are we putting forward? If mom and dad happen to deflect, we have to make sure they toe the party line.
Exterior, Omar pool day. I'll work up a script, keywords, tags, and get them ready.
Celia, sounds good. This is our priority today. Nothing but this.
Got it.
Interior, Cardi's home day. Cardi, I'm on the parents. I'll send you bio packets for the top 5.
Celia, 5's perfect. Thanks. Oh, and Mr. Solange, he wanted me to thank the team. Exterior, Omar's pool day.
Omar, does that mean he won't fire us if the campaign goes to hell?
It's not going to go to hell, and he could just shoot us into deep space.
Cardi, good to know.
Celia, we're almost there. Talk soon.
Interior, Ride Family Kitchen Day. Grace is rushing around the kitchen, which is in a complete state of disarray. There are open moving boxes sitting on the table filled with dishes. Small appliances litter the floor. She is dancing around everything, trying to put together a charcuterie board. Jeff walks through the room carrying some boxes to the backyard. Grace knocks something onto the floor. Grace, these boxes are priority. That's why I asked you to move them last night.
Give me a second.
You've had thousands of seconds.
Jeff sets down his boxes and turns towards his stressed wife. Attitude?
I don't want to hear it, Jeff. The house is a disaster.
It's fine. Just keep chopping.
Just keep chopping. Okay.
He gives her a quick kiss. Jeff picks up as many boxes as he can, and Grace commences her culinary efforts.
Interior, Emmeline's bedroom, day. Emmeline is holding her pet puppy robot.
We're about to have company, Robbie. It's important for you to look your best.
Emmeline pulls out a little fur bow tie. She ties it around the electronic companion's neck. The robot starts to shake with excitement.
Do you like that? You do, don't you? Would you like to see what it looks like?
Emmeline sets her pet down, and it walks over to a mirror that has been placed on the floor, obviously for only him. He stops at the mirror, turns slightly left and then right, and then shakes his back hindquarters.
You look quite handsome.
The robot waddles over to her, desiring to be picked up, and Emmeline happily complies.
I love that. Those little scenes, those little moments. I mean, that's what makes movies great. It's very interesting to me because the Bechdel test is, some people consider it to be controversial. Some people think that it's like, oh, that's so woke. But when you hear what it is, to me, it's
very
like,
simple.
It's pretty obvious.
Well, yeah.
And it's obvious that it's important.
It's kind of been expanded upon, too.
Yeah. But
so that there are two women in a film.
There have to be two women.
That talk to each other.
Talking to each other.
That talk about something other than a man.
Not talking about this guy over here. They're talking to each other about, like in Nyad, two women... We're in the movie. Talking to each other. About swimming.
Not about a man.
Honestly, I feel like it is such a great way of just judging how...
Are women represented?
How relevant your film is.
Well, how relevant the women in your film are.
I mean, my God. I mean, I can't tell you how many movies. I'm sorry. God loves you. God love you, Steven Spielberg.
But
almost all of your movies fail the Bechdel test.
That women only talk to men.
Yes. Women only talk to men, or women talk about men.
Hello, Oppenheimer, fail.
Yes.
The women never talk.
Like, we love the show Masters of Air. And it's just like,
There's not a damn woman in it. There was a woman in the first episode.
Yeah.
There's
and
kissing.
She's like waiting around for him to show back up.
I don't even know if she's doing that. I've never seen her again.
I think there's a nurse they mentioned.
I've never seen her again.
Listen, there were women in World War II. Tell their story. Tell their fucking story.
Some people would say, well, this is not about them.
It doesn't matter if it's not about them. They were there.
They're not freaking invisible. This is the thing with a lot of these kind of shows, that women are photos that they kiss and put on the dashboard before they go do something significant.
Women are photos.
Women are photos to them.
That's right.
They're photos.
Yes.
They don't have lives. They're a photo in time that gets put on a dashboard to inspire them to do great things. Yeah, and you know what? I'm thinking about doing like a live Oscars thing where we would just record us watching the Oscars the whole time and turn that into a show, kind of like we did with Barbie at the drive-in.
Okay.
It's hard not to get romantic about movies. Thanks for listening to Married to Movies. Jon and Tracy will meet you for breakfast tomorrow.